Hey, what's going on, guys? I see Trades here, and today we're going to be covering UNH, doing a technical analysis breakdown on UnitedHealth Group. And UNH is in a massive spot here. We've gotten out of this pennant formation. We've tested this 317 break, and sellers stepped right back in, pushing us under that level. So the question is, are we going to get that retest, claim that level, and then further break out of this range of 339, where 339 was our target on the channel, guys? Price going to that, and then filling this gap, where sellers going to push us back down to that $295 level. Now, guys, kicking it off on the weekly time frame, we see that this stock was a mountain of a stock right in the past, getting all the way up between this consolidation range of 432 and 545. We consolidate for nearly 3 years, guys, kind of chopping around. Then we break out, reach that all-time high of 621. Then you see price reject, find this support level, bounce off, reject off that 545, come back down, bounce there again, try to get above back to those highs. We cannot, and we crush all the way down. You see that drastic sell-off all the way down to that $255 level. We're talking about over $100 movement of stock price in one single week. It's very unusual to see such a sell-off on a large cap stock like this, so it's definitely scared a lot of people out. We did find that support, we bounced nicely, and then you see tighter price action after that bounce, slowly ascending. All right, guys, now on the daily chart, this shows a little bit of a better perspective of how much of a knife down this was between that 578 and 485. We gapped down nearly $100, guys, and then from there, sellers really gain that control. We get pushed down even further. We try to find that descending support. We cannot bounce there, and we flush that level, get in this range, chop around a bit, but we ultimately hit that $247 level, finding that bounce there, getting in this tighter pennant. Price is still volatile up until this point, and we slowly squeeze out of that pennant, meeting with that descending resistance and that ascending support. And we kind of just peek out of that pennant, right? We get in this little bit of a descending range, tap that $295 support, and that's where we see buyers really step in here with multiple green days and getting right above that $317 level, where the next point would be our target, that $339 level. But instead of that, guys, we saw price get to that point, get above it, couldn't hold, sellers step right back in, pushing us to that $307 marker, getting under that $317 resistance. So what we want to see here, guys, is buyers step right back in and get us above that 317, as we would be pretty much clear to that 339. And volatility is definitely picking up, guys. We were in a very tight range. We were super volatile on this drastic sell-off. Volatile in the first half of that pennant, but then that second half of the pennant, we got tight, building some energy in this descending range, and then boom. And volatility met right with the sellers as they push us back under that level. So what you want to see here, guys, is a bounce, possibly bounce at a 295 or higher up in this consolidation range. Get that bounce here, retest that level, and then you'd want to see a break over that 339, as there isn't much really holding us back. You see that big gap down. There's not a lot of points to go off of, guys. So as long as we get above that 339, we would be pretty much clear to that 372, 375-ish level, guys. There's not a lot holding us back. And as we're getting this volatile spike, volume is starting to ascend. You can see it slowly ascend in that ascending pattern, as we were in a descending pattern, but now we are breaking up into an ascending pattern where volatility is picking up. We do see that sellers are still in this game, pushing us back under here. Because with that green candle and that bullish momentum, we definitely seemed cleared to that $339 level, but we did get that rejection. So if price chops around back in this range, you would want to see that, bounce off a certain support level, retest that 317, get over it, and then there'll be major resistance at this 339, as that is the top of this range. It's a pennant range that we've been in for some time. We are short-term to medium-term bullish on UNH after such a drastic quick sell-off. There's a lot more upside than downside in this case scenario. If you look at the monthly here, guys, we're in a very pivotal spot, kind of double bottoming at that 255-ish range. We touch here, we get all the way up, we get in this consolidation range, all-time highs, and we go all the way back down. Touch that, we bounce instantly off that point, and that's where you see that longer wick and price action trying to begin the correction from that giant sell-off. So we do see a lot more room to the upside, although we are in a pretty tough fight here. We do see that room to that 374-ish level. If we can break this range of 339, break through there, definitely a lot of room, guys. But with that being said, we're going to analyze the closer candles here, get a in-depth perspective of really what was going on. You guys, right away, this candle completely sticks out in this pattern as someone has to win the fight, right? We've gotten out of this pennant structure. We've gotten that move up, and then we're in that descending range. Someone has to break, and then we see that very nice, strong green candle, followed with another green candle, and then that breakout, showing that bulls are really in control here, breaking us above that range. But then followed up with that is that red candle, engulfing this green candle here, and getting below that top of that solid green candle. So not good that we got pushed back down here, but as long as we can stay above this candle's relative body, we definitely lean more short-term bullish than bearish. Yeah, guys, buyers have made that statement, as there was a lot of chop, a lot of back and forth going on with the stock, and then you just see, boom, nice movement out, guys, really showing that buyers gain that control here. But then sellers fall right back up with that nice big move down, meaning that we are going back and forth here, but volatility and volume is picking up. So you can see, big moves start to occur, guys. But this is definitely a huge liquid candle. Both of these are very giant liquid candles showing that liquidity is coming in here, guys. And, seeing a candle just like this one, that's one of those candles where it's like stock really did that full 180 and started trending upwards. You'd say, that candle is what started that nice big lead up to that, nice uptrend movement filling that gap. Seeing such a nice solid wide bar like that is definitely a bullish sign, guys. We've seen a wide bearish red bar right after that, so it shows that we still are in a close fight with the sellers, but definitely look like volatility is ramping up here. All right, guys, now on the hourly, we see that UNH follows its trends very well. You see that hitting this ascending support multiple times and chopping it around. We come back up to around that resistance and we bounce off and right back to that ascending support bounce. See that this stock is just very responsive. And then from there, we get over this zone and we see that, pennant-like structure, that flag and pole type of structure, that pennant. And then we break out further, hit that 317 marker, and then you see that, descending nature getting to this resistance here, bouncing right off. Very responsive as we're hitting these, important levels and we are bouncing or we are rejecting. We come back down to the floor of 295 and we find that bounce once again. We get really tight, pinch between these two zones, and then boom, buyers win that fight and we get that move above that $317 level. A little bit overextended on the hourly. We cannot hold that, and then you see that movement down, rejecting back under that 317. Pretty harsh sell-off on the hourly, and we're holding right around this range. So if we see a movement back up, possibly bounce off this ascending support once again, right? Bounce here, we could definitely be seeing a continuation up, retesting that $317 level, as this is a very responsive stock. As we see, every time it's hit this ascending support, boom, 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 it's gotten back up. Hit this floor, boom, back up. So I think that we definitely do see a bounce here and then a retest of that $317 level. And we'd want to be seeing bulls really apply that pressure to get to that 339 and really get out of this range. As if we get above that and hold nicely, we have that resistance now at that $326 level. But if we can get over that, nothing's really holding us back. We see a really big red wide bar that pushed us down after that gap down. So as long as we get above that level, guys, we're looking very clear to that 339. And then after that, we're pretty much cleared. So look for the bounce on this ascending support, guys, and a continuation up, retesting this $317 level. If we don't get that, look for the floor of 295. But I think it is probable, given how responsive UNH is, that we will get that bounce and retest that zone and then try to reclaim this 326-ish highs and above that, ultimately testing the top of this range. So guys, UNH is in a quite interesting spot here. I think that we will get that leg up if that ascending support holds and we retest that 317, break right through it nice and cleanly. Volatility and volume are picking up here, so definitely wouldn't be surprised to see some big movements to the upside soon. A little bit of a back and forth battle still going on, but we do lean bullish, and I think over the next month or so we do fill that gap, getting to that $374 level. Now, if you guys enjoyed and want to see more UNH content, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll continue to cover UNH as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.